Can we have a serious conversation about the LBHs, passport bros, like whatever you want to call them? I just don't understand how the most basic level men can leave America, travel to these other countries, and just pull absolute tens, like the hottest girls that you will ever see. And these men, like men that we wouldn't even look twice at, are just pulling them and convincing them to date them. Like, I truly don't understand it. Can someone please explain to me how this is happening and how these men are able to get away with it? Also, like, how can we stop this? It's out of control, and it's getting to a point where it needs to be stopped.
This is gonna sound pick me, but it's not, okay? I think it's sexist to care about a man's height. I think if you call yourself a feminist, you should not care if your man is taller than you. Of course, we're talking about in a straight couple context, okay? Like, why do you need him to, like, physically tower over you or, like, need to look up to your man? Why do you need to be smaller than your guy, you know? If we want guys to evaluate us based off of, like, character and chemistry, well, that's what I want, then we should return the favor, in my opinion. And I think that it's, like, the last thing that really needs to go when it comes to that kind of thing.
What are you talking about? I know that nobody cares.
Nobody gave a fuck when it was me, but now when niggas threaten to break up with niggas, nigga, if I had found out myself, you wasn't gonna tell me.
Because there was nothing to find out.
Well, obviously I found out, and now someone else is crying.
So because they're trying to see what you're trying to break up with me. I know what I did was wrong. I should have deleted the messages so you can be able to see for yourself that there was nothing to find out.
Well, that's not my problem.
I was wrong for doing that.
That's not my problem. That's your problem now.
Can you stop?
No. No. I actually don't feel bad for you. I don't.
For what? Like, for what? Why would you sit here and do all of this?
I just told you.
To prove a point.
No.
There is no point to be proven.
No.
I did nothing. I did not cheat on you.
Tragic, pathetic. I'm not gonna be mad. Oh! Oh! Yo, I have this crazy headshot tonight. Why aren't you glazing me? Yo, Kim.
What about me being very disappointed in black men choosing other races, such as Spanish, white, and Arabic?
Look,
whatever.
And you have a right to feel that way. But when you guys also say that y'all have the presence of a resting face and expecting that man to kiss your ass to get to know you, it's a problem for me.
Because my resting face is sexy. That's
It's
how
not.
I feel.
It's not.
a sexy
It's
head.
disgusting.
Okay, so what about
That's
a
what you
Spanish?
think. That's your ego.
That's what
No, it's
most
not.
men think.
All right, wait.
Me,
No man thinks
it's
that's
me.
sexy.
All right, so like,
I'm just saying, you can be more approachable. I'm not here to harm you. I'm not here to disrespect you.
Why?
Look, why? Look, you just proving my
no,
point.
I'm saying.
Girls think that they want to date a high value man until he starts calling you out for not taking responsibility, before he starts holding you accountable, before he has higher standards for you than you have for yourself. Everyone talks about, oh, date a high value man. This is what you do to have to attract a high value man. But I've never heard anyone talk about like actually dating a high value man takes a totally different kind of woman. It's not for the weak. I have other friends who are dating like very loving, very successful, perfectionist, ambitious men, and it is not for the weak.
I'm sorry, but maybe I'm missing something. Why exactly is chivalry? I don't see two damsels in distress that are in dire need of a big, strong man to come get them out of a situation that they have no hope of escaping. Or am I wrong? Because it seems that in this case, no matter what the men would do, they're going to be wrong anyway. They're wrong if they don't help two fully capable women with their vehicles, but I also have a feeling that those men would be in the wrong if they actually came over to help those women. Because what exactly are they wanting? A man to overlook the situation and tell them that they did a good job? Because then he might be accused of mansplaining, or even worse, of harassing two perfectly strong, capable women. But yeah, I don't think that chivalry is... I think that some women are finally able to take care of themselves, and they don't like it.
A real masculine man does not need to announce himself. Our presence leads first. Calm, steady, dominant, protective. We ground ourselves and ask, what direction are we leading this night? Because without direction, a man becomes noise. With direction, he becomes gravity. Our movements are slow, intentional, controlled, not rushed, not desperate, not looking for validation. Men who've done the work, men who know themselves, disciplined, emotionally intelligent, decisive, anchored. And when we're with a woman, that's where real masculine leadership separates itself from performance. All right? We're not guessing our way through the night. We're reading her breathing, her tone, her energy shifts, her comfort level. We lead through awareness, not pressure. We set the pace she naturally falls into. A hand on her lower back when she needs direction, right? A steady voice when she needs reassurance. Space when she's overwhelmed. Presence when she needs to feel held. We make her feel emotionally and physically safe without her ever having to say a word. Because I'm going to tell you, dominance isn't about control. It's not. It's about responsibility, protection, emotional intelligence to guide without forcing. We don't waste energy on chaos, distractions, or temporary highs. We read her energy and we never abandon ourselves or our standards and values. That is the difference between boys and men women trust with their heart, their body, and their peace.
I get asked all the time, what's the hardest thing about being on your own for so long? And it's probably not what you think, actually. It's the small things. You get used to being on your own, but it's things like hugs, isn't it? We all love a hug. It's the decision making. And it's not that you want to, somebody to make decisions for you, because I really don't. It's just somebody to bounce ideas off. I've had to make every single decision on my own, buying a house, everything to do with my son, just absolutely everything, things to do with my business, with money. And like I say, just the arm around you every now and again, just to take the pressure off, isn't it? Coming in on your own, you can have had the best day, the best night. And you come in and you're in a fab mood, and you come in, you shut the door, the house is cold, and there's no one there to give you a hug. Yeah, that can be quite hard sometimes. And you know what, I've got loads of good friends, but it's just not the same, is it? That person to do life with. That sounds like a big thing, actually, to do life with. But it is the small things. It's that little bit of reassurance. Yeah, I think that's it, really. So what do you think the hardest thing is about being on your own? Being single, not being in a relationship, whatever you want to call it. What is the hardest thing for you?
But here's the thing, equal pay, feminism can really only exist when there are comfortable, air-conditioned office jobs. You didn't hear feminists in the 1800s saying, I want to go into the coal mines and get black lung.
If you look around today, the highest echelons of earners are all men, but then the lowest as well, all of the most difficult jobs, the ice road truckers, like you said, the coal miners. Whenever you go to foreign countries and you see people digging ditches on the side of the road, it's never women. And I don't see you guys fighting for those positions.
So we should probably analyze, aside from just the money that people make, we should analyze other sorts of gaps, right? So there's dangerous job gaps, for example. Men are more likely to on the job gap. Men are more likely to be electrocuted to gap. Men are more likely to be crushed to gap. Men are more likely to drown to gap. More likely to work outside in the heat or cold gap. More likely to work undesirable, disgusting, and dirty jobs gap.
More likely to
So, there's all kinds of gaps. Are those gaps due to sexism against men?
Monkey branching. Let's talk about what monkey branching is. Monkey branching is when you're in a current relationship, but you start a new relationship before ending the old relationship. They're hanging on to two branches, trying to see which one's going to be sturdy enough to hold them. They're telling the current partner that they still love them, that everything is good, that you're their peace. And they're even probably telling you there is no one new, because they don't have the integrity or accountability to even admit that that person even exists. They're telling the new person that you're crazy and that you don't want to let go and that you were never happy and that they couldn't give you what you need. And they don't even have the accountability to admit you even exist as a human in their life. And then when they decide which branch they want to swing to, which one will be sturdy, that's the one that they go to. And you even have the evidence that there's some overlap, but they've already told the other person that you're crazy. So they will never believe you anyway, because they're just going to tell them that I had to tell her what I had to tell her because, she's crazy and I had to end it the way I needed to end it, when that really wasn't true. It was really just to see which one that was the better landing. And it's usually the one that requires less. So if you're part of a monkey branching situation, let them have that other option, because you're not an option. And that relationship was started without integrity and without accountability.
You know, what modern women really have to understand is you're not the only pretty person in the world. You might be unique in a lot of ways, but you're not they make it seem like they're the only person walking this earth that actually matters. And I'm a goddess. I'm this biggest, I'm bigger than the president. I'm bigger than any dignitary or authority that you may come across. I'm better than them. You should only recognize me. That's how these modern women think. That's how, I can't even say American women, because you have a lot of women in different countries that think the exact same way. And so when a man says, you know what, I think I'm going to look elsewhere. I think it's time for me to, maybe go overseas and see what I can find. Then they can't believe, oh man, there's got to be something wrong with him. You ain't going to find nobody until they actually do. Oh, how are you pulling absolute 10s? Because these absolute 10s are normal, average, everyday women that understand, oh, this man's nice to me. He's kind to me. He takes care of me. Why don't I just marry him?
I decided to ask my best friend if he could pick up my meds from the pharmacy for me. And I felt awful about it because I didn't want to create a burden. And he was so kind and understanding. And he just said, it's not a problem. I just want you to feel better. And in that moment, I burst into tears. Because I am not used to being taken care of. And he wanted to take care of me. And after a lifetime of just being sick on my own, the experience of having somebody want to take care of you.
Sherilyn? Sherilyn?
I'm gonna be single forever. As a joke, you know? But bro, I don't think it's a joke anymore.
Why does she want to be with me? It doesn't make any sense. You, of all people, know that I'm just the weird detour you take before you find the guy you want to be with. I basically just help women realize.
Have you ever tried to lose weight?
I'm down 20 pounds. What do you think trying to lose weight is?
I'm proud of you, but you should try harder. 20 pounds is crazy.
At least the first noise out of my mouth isn't moo when I wake up.
It's not.
Inches and pounds don't affect our finances, though.
Oh, they do when she eats like a pig.
I don't. You're quiet. Do you have anything else to say?
Just observing you. I'm just letting you go. Just like him, he lets you run in circles until you get tired, kind of like a pig.
Well, you should try running in circles. Maybe you lose more than 20 pounds. That's crazy.
Are we hating weight loss?
Just hating that you're not trying harder. You say, I don't know how to try.
Well, you don't know how to try. Look
I
at
do
you.
know how to try.
You
just
can look
not at the right thing, maybe.
Only one thing. You can look at everything. I've tried to try. I've tried to grow a business. Oh, success. Tried to grow a top 10 channel on YouTube. Oh, I did. Success. Tried to lose weight. Oh,
in
yeah.
college.
Success.
I'm in college.
Yeah, you look like a permanent college student.
No, I only started because I didn't want to waste money on student loans when I didn't know what
Go
I
to
wanted
college
to
at the end of
do.
the day, protest at night, and cancel people on TikTok on the weekend. You know you.
No, you don't.
Oh, dude, that was lethal. You look like a permanent college student.
No, like these motherfuckers actually exist, bro. Who actually takes the time to like travel to potentially a different state just to argue and like fat shame someone like that? Try harder. You could lose more. Dude, fuck you. Like, why is it your business? And don't say that's not fat shaming, because it is. Because you don't just say I'm proud of you, but you should try harder. You should, like, I don't know, end it maybe. I'll let you guys know if I'm kidding on that or not. You know, she kind of reminds me of someone that I went to high school with who was just like annoying, looked exactly like her, and was just a miserable person. Yeah, just what is wrong with you? Inches and pounds don't affect our finances, though. Bro, why are you with her? Like, that was a horrible excuse. Yes, it is. Like, wow. Oh my god. Like, it's like talking to NPCs, bro. Well, since they didn't say it, I'll say it. I'm actually proud of you, and keep trying. Not that you should try harder. Like, you're trying. What a weird way to start a conversation, though. Have you ever tried to lose weight? Everybody go run up and find her account and then go fat shamer for me, please. Anyways, I am taking on clients, so DM or comment thread is always follow for more.
Hey, listen, fellas. We done with the whole masculine provider male era. We're in our soft guy era, okay? Drizzle. Listen, you need to hold out and make that woman wait until she shows you that she's capable and that she's loving enough for you to give your body to her. You know, because at the end of the day, it's all about us. It's all about us. We just want our equal rights as men. So, drizzle.
I've been tagged repeatedly in videos like this, and I know this is men's attempt to throw women's logic back in their faces. But the truth is, we already knew you were in your soft guy era. We thought you were soft when you couldn't resist a woman's temptation when you had a girlfriend, a fiance, or a wife. We knew you were in your soft guy era when you went to the store to get a pack of cigarettes or a gallon of milk and never came back. We knew you were in your soft guy era when you begged your baby mama not to put you on child support because you couldn't survive if she took that $250 a month, even though she was the one who was feeding the child and clothing the child, and she was the one who was providing shelter for that child as well. Like, we already knew you were soft. We're just proud of you guys for finally having the strength to admit it. I know this is meant to be a joke, but the joke's on you because you're only telling women what we already knew. So go ahead, get your laughs, get your views, get your engagement, and then get out of single women's faces because they don't care.
You're an average woman and you want to know how you get a high status man? Okay, I'll teach you in just 5 steps. Step 1, you can't. Sorry, but you can't. So there's no need to go over all the other steps, but hold on, let me tell you why. A high status man, he has options and real options. He's not choosing based on your standards. He's choosing based on your value. So when you say stuff like, I need a man making over $500,000 a year, or I have high standards, or I'm just thinking about my future, you have some questions to answer yourself. Are you fit, or are you working on it? Are you young, or are you trying to compete with a 20-something-year-old using Botox and filler? Are you feminine and submissive, or are you loud, combative, and allergic to being led? Do you like to cook, or do you hate it? Do you bring peace, or do you bring problems, mood swings, and tests to see if he really loves you? Because men at that level, they invest in beauty, peace, and a woman who makes life feel lighter and easier. And if you bring kids from another man into the equation, your chances are even smaller, honey. I'm sorry. So what the hell happened? Average women used to go for average men, solid men, hardworking men, and loyal men with character. Now, a lot of average women want the top dog while refusing to become a top woman themselves. That is not high standards. That is high entitlement. That is why you're still single. That is why you're getting older. And that is why you keep asking, where are all the men? Where did they go? Honey, they're everywhere. Take a look around. They're on construction sites doing electrical work and they're working the double shifts. And guess what? Those men, they would treat you like a queen, but you are stuck in fantasy land. You think you have the same chance as a sweet, feminine 20-something-year-old who looks like a model? I'm sorry, but no, give me a break. Your prince might not be dressed in Italian designer suits every day. He might be in work boots, covered in dust, looking for a woman who's actually worth committing to, but you're too blind to see him.
My date just walked out on me within 30 seconds of seeing my face. He saw me, he said, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. He also, when he saw me, I was with Francesca, her boyfriend, and Nick. So like, not the best look, like situation-wise, but he kind of stuck up on me. He was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. He never...
Yeah, no, he walked in and like everybody was together.
The man clearly didn't know that he was walking into a group date. 2 girls, 2 guys, and one of them is already dating. And then there's you and Nick. What do you think the man is going to think? It's either like one of 4 things. Number 1, you were planning on like a group intimate situation, which he is not into. 2, you weren't taking getting to know him very seriously. 3, even worse, you weren't not just taking him seriously, you were actually looking to make fun of him. Like he was going to come on this date and it would be one of those like high school nightmare situations where you laugh at him for thinking that you would have any true interest in him. Now, in my opinion, it's either 2 or 4, because I lean towards 4 because it's a super loud bar. How is that an appropriate location for a first date? Like, you can't even hear each other talk to one another. For any man that has been in this situation, or just a heads up to any of you guys that end up running into this situation in the future, believe me when I tell you that this is a clear test of your boundaries. This is disrespectful.
Coming! Hi, Samantha.
So you gonna block my social media and my number and think I'm not gonna show up?
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, I stopped with you like a
Wait,
while ago.
what?
Sorry about that. You didn't know?
No. What did I do? Why'd you stop fucking with me?
I grew a pair. I grew a pair of nuts. I realized that you've been playing me since, this whole thing started.
I have not been playing you.
So you had no idea that I was into you. That didn't spark at all. I'll take you out for, Taco Tuesdays and Sundays, but you didn't. That didn't register with you.
I mean, yeah, I just needed time to think about it.
Right.
and-
See, after the third breakup, I thought I'd have a chance, and then you sent that nude, and then you said sorry, wrong person, and unsent it. Like what?
Okay, that was for my homegirl. Okay?
Right, and then I tried to call you like a week ago, right? And then you let another man answer the phone to say that she busy, and I heard clapping with no hands. So
Okay, that was just Dominique. He be playing. Okay, I did not.
yeah. So with all those things, I decided that you're not good for me anymore. So peace out.
And there was this woman talking about the hardest thing about being single. And one of the examples that she mentioned was, buying a house or maybe having a house and, kind of the decisions that you make, right? A lot of modern women, that is their makeup. It's community. It's me being in concert in some form of relationship that has a lot of cohesion, and we make the decisions together, and we kind of build this together. There's a social aspect. That's why you see a lot of modern women talk about, well, I have my friends and I don't need a man to do this because the decision making and the support that I need is going to come from them. Yes, to a degree, because these modern women, a lot of your friends have their own lives, and they will have their own lives. So I think what's actually happening and what's going to happen is you're going to think that you're all going to be single, but this woman is going to finally settle down, right? Say, for instance, you have a group of, 4 girls, right? They might all be 25. All of y'all might be out there in the street doing your thing. There's one with a high body count, and she's just doing her thing. There's another one that's kind of hanging out with y'all, but she don't have really any body count at all. Maybe a couple of guys, a long-term relationship, and maybe a one-night stand. But she's in there, and you're kind of the middle of the pack. And then there's maybe another girl that's kind of around the same area as you. What's going to essentially happen as y'all grow older is y'all going to start, even though y'all band together and you're all going to be together forever, y'all start finding different interests. And you could even say the girl with the high body count, that sworn off men, she might say, you know what, I want to move to Ireland. Oh girl, we support you, we're gonna come see you. And by the time y'all go see her, y'all pop up on her and she has a fiance. Oh, the girl who's been running out in the street, yeah, she was running out in the street and she went over to Ireland, nobody knew who she was, and now she's getting married. And now you 3 down. And the woman, of course, she don't have no body count. Maybe a couple of guys. She gets married. Oh, Joanne is going to get married next year. That's so great that both of you are getting married, right? You might have your friend. She might get into a long-term relationship. Maybe not necessarily married, but she has a child. And now all of that energy is going to the kid. And now you're out there by yourself, right? Oh man, I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to buy a car. Oh, go ahead. You're doing it. And they're giving you support from afar, but you're still alone. You're still by yourself. That's what happens to a lot of modern women. They get out there and they're telling the world what they're going to do. And it turns out, no, you're not. You're going to be by yourself. That community that you thought I'm going to lean on my friends. That's why Kevin Samuels kept on saying, buy you a dog and die alone. Because the friends that you thought you was going to have, they're going to start doing their own thing.
Should the man pay or should you guys split? The people who think the man should pay are being told that they're anti-feminist. And then they are telling the 50-50 crowd that they don't know their worth and that their man doesn't really care about them. Frankly, to me, this sounds the same as asking someone, do you prefer position 1 or 2? And then when a part of the group answers position 1, one group goes like, I see, you're anti-woman. And then when the other group goes like, yeah, I actually prefer position 2, the first group goes like, right, yeah, your man hates. When we enter dating, we are entering a romantic and context, and we do not always have to drag politics into romance and in the romantic context, we are dealing with attraction, and attraction is not always something you consciously decide on. A behavior that will spark a certain feeling in someone will not spark the same feeling in someone else. Example, a colleague recently told me that when a man opens the door for her, she feels infatualized, she really dislikes it. I, on the other hand, love it when someone opens the door for me. We are both feminists. None of us is more intelligent, more correct, or more whatever than the other. We are simply two people with different brains that make us attracted to different things. Coming to a conclusion about either of us from this story alone would be a judgmental and frankly very lazy take. Let me be clear now, I'm not saying every romantic preference is beyond analysis. It can easily happen that a preference reflects deeper beliefs or power needs, but all I'm saying is that maybe tone it down a little bit and don't analyze a person's full psychological panel based on this one thing alone.
What do you rate yourself then?
10 out of 10, of course.
That's crazy talk. What do you rate yourself? Probably an 8. I rate you about a good 4.
4?
Yo!
Shoot
10! Shoot 10!
You
Shoot a 4?
Are
you serious, bro? Are you serious? Be careful. Are you serious, bro?
You got hose? I don't see it.
Yo, I'll beat your ass right here, bro.
Who's the worst in divorce?
Oh,
culturally,
wow.
ethnically, racially.
Wow. Anyone who's ever dated a Latina woman, they will burn your house down and then ask who Maria was who called. And you're like, that's from work. She's like, well, you should have told me that shit before. And you're like, before you burned the house down? Like, so that can be bad. Right. Russian women, in my experience professionally, not personally, professionally, they will, when you are now the enemy, when you have crossed that line, they get ice cold. And there is nothing. When you're married to a Russian woman, there's nothing she won't do for you. And when you're divorcing a Russian woman, there is nothing she won't do to you. Like, she will right up.
Well, give me an example of, like, you don't have to give obviously a person, but something that they might have asked you to do or told you about.
Oh, I mean, they'll surveil the guy. Like, they'll have people follow him. They'll blow him up to the IRS. I've had a couple of the IRS. Yeah, and they'll shoot first and ask questions later. Like, they'll call the IRS and they go, by the way, I called the IRS. Not, I'm thinking about so I can go, that's a terrible idea. Like, nope. They're like, oh, I did it already.
As a man,
y'all already know if the statement starts out like that, we are on a Chinese bullet train straight to some. Viewer discretion is advised.
what a blessing it is for people to find you as a resource and decide to come to you and ask you for something because they feel like you are equipped to get it done.
See what I'm talking about? Y'all see what I'm talking about? I told you we was on an express train to some, bro. Keep in mind, she didn't say your family. She didn't say your friends. She didn't say your loved ones. She said people. Translation, random women. And if she was talking about your family or your loved ones, this video would be null and void. It would be pointless because that goes without saying. Every real man knows he's a resource to his family, his friends, his kids, his wife, the people he cares about. Ma'am, if being a blessing is being a resource to people, no thank you. Because you, like I said, you didn't say my kids, you didn't say my wife, you didn't say my family, you didn't say my friends, you just said people. I don't want to be a resource to all people. And the one part she neglected to mention was, you know what typically happens to most resources? They become depleted and no one refuels them, especially those people that use them the most.
That's the mindset y'all need to have for 2026, men. How grateful is it that someone finds you and holds you in such high regard that they know that you are the person to get them out of whatever situation it is?
No, I don't want to get them out of that situation. I don't want to get anybody out of the situation. You know why? Because that's God's work. And I'm not interfering with what God has in place for them. Remove me from your high regard. Stop thinking of me so highly that you feel as if you need to come to me for that you don't have. No. Remove me from that place. I'm okay with just being a normal person in your life, if I'm even there. And no, we are not going to have this mindset in 2026 as men. We'll decline respectfully. Fellas, they're getting real surgical with the way they're delivering the messages. Now you got to read between the lines. Because if I didn't know any better to the untrained eye, I'd be like, oh man, she's absolutely right. I should feel grateful. No, the f- you should not. This is a feminine display of the Jedi mind trick. They want you to believe that you are important because other people are using you. That's what they want you to believe. They want you to feel some sense of honor because women are using you. Nah, we ain't doing that. But be careful out here, boy. The messages are getting more and more tricky. I am only dependable on the people that I choose to be dependable for. And if you can't accept that, that's your problem. Yeah, keep the change.
Honestly, this is one of the best ways to describe submission in marriage.
I don't submit to no man. I don't let no man tell me what to do. See, the enemy is trying to convince us that submission in the home is inferiority. But this was never about your value as women. This was simply about order and function. Imagine you and your husband, you're driving to your destination, and both of you have a steering wheel, both of you have brakes, and both of you have an accelerator. It's gonna end in a crash. The creator of the car was not trying to oppress the passenger by saying, I'm gonna take the steering wheel away from you. There can only be one person sitting behind the steering wheel. The creator of the car just knows how is the car going to get to the destination. There has to be someone sitting in the driver's seat. God said, I'm gonna put husbands in the driver's seat of the house. But see, my role in the passenger seat is to help him. Do you need some water? Do you need me to turn up the music? Do you need help with the navigation? I'm not just sitting there looking pretty. I am helping us get through the destination. We can destroy our husbands with just our words and our tongue, always questioning his decisions. Well, took the wrong turn again. If I was sitting in the driver's seat, whoa, we're not sitting in the driver's seat. And we're not going to constantly bicker and criticize his leadership. Our husbands have enough attack from the enemy in this world. The last thing he needs from us as wives is for us to also be a voice of attack. But as a woman of God, I am going to lift up my husband, support my husband. I'm going to honor my husband, speak well of my husband. I'm going to build him up so that we can get to the destination that God has assigned to. Both people need to sit in their seats and do their roles.
Marriage is always about teamwork. Have you found the one who will choose connection with you and also chooses to work as a team?
As a wife in a healthy, happy marriage, I run a strict program. You want to know what it is? I'm going to tell you. I don't play about a lot of things. Okay? I don't play about my husband and I don't play with my husband. I don't play in his face. He ain't gonna play in mine. You understand what I'm saying? I'm Kiara Lachey. Stick around so I can tell you all of the ways that I don't play and how I run this strict program. We've been married for a long time. And one of the things that I also am very adamant about is respect, communication, constant communication. That is important because as I grow as a woman, as I change, as I evolve, I have to keep that communication flowing with my husband so he understands, how to flow with me and I understand how to flow with him. Late night with your homeboys, we're not doing that. We're grown. We got kids. It's safe in this house. It's warm. It's cozy. We're going to be here. We're going to be cuddled up doing or playing some games or skating around the house. We're going to be doing something safe. Okay. Don't go outside embarrassing me. Don't be in everybody's face. Kiki. Don't be doing all that. We don't need that. I'm not a jealous person, but what you're not going to do is make me look crazy. Okay. And I don't do it either. I'm not going to do that either. I'm very friendly, but I'm also very, very respectful. Okay. You represent me when you walk out the house. I represent him when I walk out the house. You know what I mean? So I'm going to look good. you're going to be able to say, that's my wife and be proud about it. And I want to be able to say, that's my husband. I am. I'm able to say, that's my husband. Yeah, that's my man. My man. Another thing is, if I'm working all day long and I come home, I don't want to have to clean, cook, get the babies ready, all the things for bed and all those things. Teamwork. So teamwork, same for him. If he's had a long day at work, we both are CEOs of our company, a multi-million-dollar supplement company, Just Move Supplements. Shout out to us. Hey, come on. We have long days, right? So when we come home, we do it together. Kitchen, clean the kitchen or get the girls ready for bed and so forth. Keep dating, period. I talk to him in his love language. He talks to me in mine. He loves affection. I love acts of service. Every single day we do something towards our love languages, feeding our love languages. Ooh, if we're out and we're having a disagreement or something, again, we will talk about it at the house. I'm gonna have your back, you're gonna have mine. Whether it's wrong or right, it doesn't matter, but we'll talk about it at home. I'm real strict with that. Don't go outside, Ashley. Don't piss me off.
You know, I really like what Lauren was saying about a lot of these modern women, how they're talking about they have high standards, but they actually have high entitlement. They're trying to, you're a normal, everyday, average woman, and you're trying to get a high value man. It's probably not likely. And I know you don't want to hear that, right? You could find, where are all the good guys at? Everywhere. Construction sites. I mean, just look around you, you name it. I mean, these modern women, they really don't play to their strengths at all. And that's why you see a lot of them losing. Why can't I find a man? Why can't I get a man? Because you're still trying to play a game that you're already out of. They sit up here and they talk about how men can't handle them, how men can't keep up with them, men are intimidated. No, you can't keep up with the younger ladies. Or there might be a woman around your age that gets the guy. What am I doing wrong? You're trying to play her game instead of playing yours. You might be good at cooking and cleaning. You might be. But instead of playing to your strengths, you're trying to outdo the man. Oh, I know how to work on cars too. I can. No, you don't. You're not good at that. Why are you even saying that you're good at that? Oh, I can do this job and that. No, you can't. Why even say that you can't? Just do what you're able to do. And that's where a lot of modern women lose. They're out here playing to their weaknesses. Oh, I'm strong everywhere. And that's why when they say I'm a 10, it's so stupid. You're not. You have things that you need to work on. That's why you cannot get a man. Because you sit up there, oh, I don't got nothing to work on. I'm perfect. No, you're not.
Yo, this woman is a matchmaker. And even she's like, what the hell is going on?
Okay, so there are a decent number of profiles like this. Okay, 31, female, based in the US, event coordinator, average looking in my opinion, and wearing heavy makeup with false lashes in all of her photos, including the casual ones. Here are some excerpts of her profile. I would like someone who is physically my type, attractive, fit, full head of hair, 5'11" or above, at least an 8 or 9 out of 10. Looks matter to me. He must be educated and have a stable job well into 6 figures. Someone who is emotionally intelligent and a high value man who understands the worth of a woman in a relationship. I won't tolerate anyone who does not know how to treat someone like a lady. I have high standards and I'm not interested in anyone who is trying to lower my standards. Now, this person is rejected because I don't think that the person that she wants will want her back. I mean, I've already seen profiles like this and she doesn't meet their requirements. But what's very interesting to me is this discourse about trying to lower my standards. I've actually seen that sentiment a bunch of times in my comment section, and I don't actually know what that means. I think it's a very weird thing to say. Like, what do you mean other people are trying to lower your standards? Nobody cares what your standards are, and nobody cares even more to try and lower them. This is a free market, so you can have all of the standards that you want, but people also have to choose you. Now, as a matchmaker, I can factually tell you that based on what you're looking for, those people who do meet your requirements, whether or not they would want you back or not. So at some point, especially for someone in my position, it's simply about reality. And what I would say to this person is, hold on to your standards, hold on to them tight, and find yourself someone.
This woman is a dating coach, and she even rejects people based on standards like this. She goes to the profile, looks at the face, and then looks at the requests, and this woman's standards are through the roof. You know what I'm saying? High value, obviously 5'11" over 6 feet into 6 figures. Yeah, she got a ton of makeup on, fake lashes, and then she sounds insufferable. I won't tolerate someone that won't know how to treat someone like a lady. And even the matchmaker's like, yeah, I'm gonna reject this person because the person they want, I don't think is gonna want them back. And that's just more work for me. These women be forgetting you can have all the standards in the world. She even told you, that's fine, hold on to those standards, but be realistic with you being okay with not being chose because no one's gonna meet those standards. You want standards that you don't even uphold to. And the fact that she gets rejected from a matchmaker who she has to pay is telling. These women be thinking any guy's just gonna want them. And yeah, any guy will want to smash you. You be forgetting the guy that you want. Once someone meets all the criteria, he gotta like you back. And that's where you're not gonna get chosen, because the guy that you want, that dude that meets all that criteria, has his pick of the litter from a lot of women that are way better to deal with than your insufferable ass. So if you're hearing it from a professional matchmaker, there might not be hope for you, shorty.
I am currently living with HIV and genital herpes. I'm going to tell my story today about that specifically. How I found out was through the hospital. I was about to start a job and I was told I couldn't start it until I got a dermal taken out my face, which was here. Usually you have to go to the tattoo shop, but I tried going to the hospital, you know, see if they could help or whatever, but they couldn't. But in the midst of that, there was a random doctor going around doing random blood tests for HIV specifically. And I was on the phone with one of my guy friends and I made a joke. I'm like, bro, what if they say I got that? I'ma just embrace it, you feel me? We laughing about it. Me and him, we laughing about it type shit. Like literally 10, 15 minutes later, the doctor came back and pulled me to a room. I'm like, uh-oh, I know what that means. Something ain't right, you know what I mean? And he told me I was positive for HIV.
Oof. And she wasn't even looking to get tested. It sounds like she just was doing it because the doctor was there offering it for free. Wow.
I'm like, bro, I'm laughing at the doctor because I ain't trying to believe what he's saying. I'm in shock type of stuff. I'm like not believing what he's saying, basically. It took me a minute to adapt to it. But once I had left the hospital, I'm calling everybody, I'm texting everybody like, hey, bro, you need to go get checked. Like my previous partners, past partners, listen, go get checked. You feel me? I just found out I got HIV. You know what I'm saying? I don't know too much about it. They just told me they'll follow up with me the next doctor's appointment.
Imagine getting that
I really
text.
didn't know much about it until that first visit after finding out. So I was just stuck with a folder telling me about HIV, and that was it at the time. But when I did get to the first follow-up appointment, the doctor was like, it's very rare, but your viral load is very low. And at the time, I'm like, I thought my stuff was high because I'm like, it was in the 7,000s type of thing. But he said it was very low, which meaning like basically I figured out right on time. I found out right on time. So I thank God I'm blessed for, you know, but what I learned about it, like I said, was the viral load. He told me, you know, basically he's going to start me off on Biktarvy since my viral load was already low, that he said it usually takes up to 3 to 6 months for you to become undetectable. I ended up undetectable within that first week taking Biktarvy. So I was like, what? I didn't have to wait that long because at first that was my worry. Like, I'm not going to be able to have this. I ain't going to be able to do nothing.
Desmond and Christy Scott have filed for divorce after 12 years of marriage, and I think there's a valuable lesson in this story, and I want to talk about it. For those that don't know, Desmond is a successful chef. He gained some celebrity when he was really young, cooking for celebrities, and he's done very well for himself. Christy became famous during COVID in 2020, where she started putting videos up called High Heel Pranks, showing a luxurious home design, lifestyle videos, etc. She then took off. She was traveling all over the world. She had celebrity deals and was doing quite well. They have a beautiful home. They have money. So think about it. You have everything you think you need to be happy. So what can possibly go wrong? And I know many of you are going to say, well, he cheated. That's why they got divorced. Well, that's the end result. We'll get to that in a bit. Now, take away the celebrity, take away the money, take away the looks, the big home, and let's just talk about a young couple who's known each other since they were very young. I speak to divorced couples all the time, and it's very common for people to grow apart, and I think that's what happened here. The person you are at 19 is not the same person you are at 30. What also happens in your 20s for most of us is you discover your passion, and she discovered who she was. And this can have 3 effects on a relationship. 1, your spouse can be jealous of your success. I don't think that applies here because he was successful already. 2, your spouse's insecurities could surface thinking she's traveling the world, meeting successful, beautiful people, she may leave me, etc. And that can cause problems in the relationship. I don't think those 2 apply in this couple. The last thing that can happen is that you can change with your success, for the better or for worse. And I think her change was too much for him to handle.
We're going to the movies today, and this is the outfit of the day. The beam, 90-degree angle. Y'all are... What do you think?
This man was fed up with her. He found this persona completely annoying, and he was done. And her as a content creator with her niche, that takes setups, that takes storyboarding, that takes filming, that takes numerous takes. That's like a 24/7 gig. Now to the cheating. Desmond states, Christy and I faced challenges and made sincere efforts to work through them. Toward the end of 2025, I wanted a separation. During this period, that's where the infidelity came about. Now, speaking of infidelity, do you know they're both Jehovah's Witnesses? According to their laws, if you want a divorce in that religion, there's one thing that has to occur. That is infidelity. I think he did this to get out of that marriage. Now, what's the lesson here? You have to understand going into a marriage, especially if you marry young, there are going to be some changes. And you have to adjust to that. You have to understand the person that you're marrying early on may be a different person later, but you have to evolve with this person. You have to be consistently communicating and ensuring that the core foundation and that love between you both is strong and consistent despite the changes. Celebrate each other's successes, be each other's cheerleader, but never forget what brought you there. That core love, that connection. Never let that go. Never let it depreciate, because if you do, you're going to end up divorced like they did.
I was in college. I dated a very traditional Christian man who asked me at one point, how do you feel about after you graduated, we just immediately got married and you were a stay-at-home wife and you didn't have to work? I was honestly offended by that question because I was so passionate about this thing that I was getting a degree in that I was just so eager to enter the workforce and do this thing that I loved and get money for it. Fast forward to today, I've graduated, we broke up, I'm now working in the profession of the thing that I got a degree in, and I changed my mind. I changed my mind. I don't want to do it anymore.
I actually feel really bad for her. And a lot of people will say, well, you made your bed, now sleep in it. But this isn't random. Women didn't just wake up and decide, well, I don't want to be covered, I don't want to be provided for. No, they were taught that. They were taught that depending on a man somehow lowers you. And at the same time, men stopped being held to the weight of what they were actually called to be. So now you got women, these incredibly valuable beings, being shaped into employee A, B, or C, and basically being funneled into job descriptions. And this is not against women in the workforce. No, this is against the distortion of taking what God created to be so deeply valued and reducing it to mere function. You have to think about this. The women's body, soul, and spirit is so precious that God literally commanded man to for it. Not just provide, not just manage, not halfway show up. And he doesn't leave room for interpretation lest we think, well, it depends what you mean by. No, he says, like Christ loved the church and gave himself for her. That is the standard. So what do you call it when a culture convinces women they don't need that and convinces men they don't need to become that?
And there was a clip where the woman was talking about one of her friends, because I bring up this clip because I think modern women, they want to be loved in a certain way, and that's valid, but you need to learn how to be loved and treated in a way that you might not expect. I think one of the examples she was giving was like, I have a friend where, for me, if a man opens the door for me, I feel, I'm turned on by that. I love that. But for my friend, if her man opens a door, she feels like he's treating her basically like a child. No, maybe I understand. It's like, well, I can open my own door. That's what I mean. That's an insecurity, but that's a thought process that you have to get out of you. You know what I mean? Like if the man is doing something nice for you, like opening the door, your car door, maybe pulling out the chair and whatever he wants to do, try to make your life a little bit easier. You have to learn to start accepting that stuff because they're doing it for your convenience. They don't have to, but they're doing it because they want to make your life a little bit easier, right? There's an example of a woman that, she was talking about, she was just sitting in the room and she's strong and independent, and her boyfriend was like, hey, I'm about to go downstairs or I'm about to go somewhere else. You need me to get your glasses for you? No, I can get my own glasses. And before that left her mouth, no, I'll go get them. She said, hey, he's trying to do something nice for me. Yeah, you can go get my glasses. I mean, I really don't need him to. I would have gone and gotten them myself. But, he offered, and okay, cool. I'll let him get the glasses. And like I said in that example, he's going to say, while I'm down here, she might want a little something to drink. And he's going to get her maybe some water or make her some coffee. And he's saying, well, she needs a little treat to go with the coffee, or she needs a little treat to go with the water. And he might get her a little treat, a yogurt or something like that, whatever it might be, that he's seeing her eat over and over again. And they'll take it to her. And so now you get 3 things for the price of 1 because you allowed somebody to help you out. It could be the same thing in a situation, but modern women need to learn. Once again, like I said, I understand, there's certain ways that you want to be loved, but that there's also other ways that people express love to you that you need to learn how to accept.